Hey everybody, this is Javi, and you are watching the Bowtie Psychic here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. I do not expect any of the readings I do on this channel to resonate with everybody. If it resonates with you, by all means, subscribe, comment, share, like the channel or the video rather. I really would appreciate all of that. Also, if you want a more in-depth reading, if this resonates with you, if you want a more in-depth reading, you can hit me up on at bowtiepsychic@gmail.com. I am actually pulling cards for Taurus for the month of May, and when I tapped into Taurus energy, the first thing I got was a lot of insecurities. In fact, this reading in particular is for people. Are for people born in the Taurus sign um, who are psychics or spiritual people in general, but especially psychics. I'm getting there's a lot of insecurities and uncertainties about your abilities, and again, this is Pluto, uh, the season of Pluto retrograde. So um, there's a lot of insecurities that are coming up anyway. So what I got anyway, as far as the first card, what I got was the intuition card upside down. In fact, all of the cards again are upside down. It was like that for Aries too, but I got the intuition card just like for Aries. Um, I'm getting that a lot of you are very, very insecure about your abilities. You feel like your intuition is off. There's many times when something happened, your gut instinct will come on, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't know if this is correct. And so one of the reasons why there's like a lot of that going on is because of the Pluto retrograde and the fact that we're all being called to check our insecurities and to reflect on our insecurities, um, and and basically like put them in check, especially if there have been these are insecurities that have been going on for quite a number of years, and so we're like as psychics or mediums or anyone that does a lot of anything in the helping profession, you're literally being called to examine why you are not listening to your intuition. If you all, not just during this time, but any other time that you have like ignored it is in any way, shape, or form for whatever reason. This is literally the time for you to examine why you are ignoring your intuition, or you don't think it's strong enough, or you feel like you're not a good enough medium or psychic. Because what's end up happening is that you're blocking a lot of your abilities by doing that. You're also questioning spirit and what spirit has in store for you as far as your abilities. You have those abilities for a reason, and so this is the time for you to basically reflect on, basically do some introspection on why those insecurities are coming up and what work you can do to get those insecurities out of the way, so you can be of service to people who are waiting for you to be of service to them. And so I've also got the King of Air. Is also upside down, as I said before. And so what this card is basically saying is that in addition to you not believing in your own intuition, you don't believe in your own abilities to I'm getting carry conversations. You okay? When it comes to your intellect, you're also very insecure about your intellect. Um, Taurus, you're very known for uh, being the logical one. You're known for being the one to hold everything down. You're the one. You're the Earth sign. You are the Earth sign. You make sure that everyone else is on board. You make sure that you are on top of things. And right now, the insecurities that are coming up is as far as the King of Air. It's around your intellect, your abilities to hold entire conversations, your ability to use your common sense to hold your emotions in check. Like you're like into your intellect, you're just questioning it. You're like, am I good enough for anything? Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Um, I'm just getting a lot of, you're just doubting yourself in general when it comes to your mind and how it works. And so this is a time for you to again ask yourself why. Will you call names? Were you called stupid when you were a child? Were you put in a remedial course or remedial classes? Were you in a part of a school system that undermined your insecurities? Um, were you were you placed in a position um, to prove your intelligence on a regular basis? Were you diagnosed with a learning disability, and that is the reason why you feel like you're incapable? So these are a lot of the questions that you're being asked to ask yourself, because they're getting in the way of your intuition. Okay, because your mind, your body, and your spirit, they're all connected. And in order for you to have that strong connection with spirit, all of those connections, your mind, body, and spirit, are to be unblocked and unhindered in any way, shape, or form. So, again, this is pretty much the time for you to ask yourself, um, why are you doubting your abilities to function? And so, again, I got the Four of Earth. So, what I'm getting from this card, which is upside down, is that, again, this is not the time. This is not the time to keep quiet and pretend that everything's okay. This is not the time to pretend as if you have everything together when you don't. See, Taurus is what I get from Taurus is that a lot of y'all don't like to talk about what's going on with you. You like to. You're the one. What I'm getting is that you like to handle stuff yourself. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you are to handle things yourself. You are the one to come up with answers. You are the one that provides for others, or to have people seek your guidance. Is not the other way around. So it's really hard for you to ask for help, and it's really hard for you to be vulnerable as well. So what that particular card is saying is that you are not um, you're not beyond help. You're not beyond help. You're not beyond asking for help. Um, this is a time for you to speak up. This is like just like Aries were, they were being told by by spirit uh, to have a journal, to start writing and to start talking, talking out their feelings. Um, Before they get into any sort of trouble with their health, you're being asked to speak up as well, because even when I'm noticing that even now, like, it's very hard for me to talk. Yes, it's 1:34 a.m. where I am, but I'm just getting that when it comes to you just can't function right now, Taurus. I'm getting that a lot of you are just not able to wrap your head around anything right now because of the energy of of Pluto retrograde. Like, you're not able to get any of that together. Um, you're just having a really, really hard time getting your energy together. You're not grounded. That's what it is. You're not as grounded as you usually are. You're not grounded or very well put together when it comes to your well being, because you're just so stressed out right now, and there's a lot of a lot of energy within you that's not moving around. Okay, there's not any sort of energy around, moving around within you. So movement is actually real important, because if you're not moving, that energy that you're holding on to is going to be very stagnant, and then you won't be able to function as a result. Believe it or not, you're very much of a thinker, and so that's why you have this card that came up, because this is literally the time, um, Taurus, to get out of your own head and to get out of your own mind, and that's why you're being asked to speak up, not only for the sake of being vulnerable, but for the sake of being transparent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are to know where you're coming from, because for the most part, you do not have it together right now. Okay, because being vulnerable and I'm getting not just vulnerable, but like retrospect, or like like any sort of retrospection, or going within, is really really difficult for you, and so um, you're literally being told to be transparent so people can help you, so you don't have this facade of having it together. This is why the integrity card came up upside down. You're not lying to anybody either. Okay, you're like lying to yourself, and you're not telling yourself the truth about where you are, Taurus. And so this is pretty much the time for the month of May to ask yourself, what is about asking for help, and what is it about putting up airs of having it together. uh, what's the payoff for that? Because people are starting to see through you. People are starting to see through you. They started seeing through you back in April. There is no way that you're able to hide any longer. And so now you're being asked for the month of May, um, especially when it's Taurus season. What is it? What is it about having this facade of keeping it together? What is it? Because you're going to be unable to go on like this. You won't be able to go on like this. It's just not okay. It is not possible. It's not realistic. You're not going to be able to go any further. You're not going to be able to go any further from here. As I said in the other video, is 2019. Though you're being asked to let go of this illusion that you are grounded all the time. It's okay to say, like, look, I need help. I messed up. I'm not, I'm scattered. And there's stuff going on. You have every right to say that. My cat, I apologize for him. That shadow, he's tearing up my curtain. We'll be okay. But back to Taurus. Um, you're literally being asked to be transparent for the benefit of yourself, and also this is another way for you, especially if you like are a spiritual teacher. You as a spiritual teacher, um, because this reading is for psychics and people who do spiritual work. It's very important for people that you work with to see that you are human, and by being human and seeing your human side, not just your spiritual side, but your human side, that you're capable of screwing up. You're capable of messing up. In fact, that's a spiritual act in of itself. Um, Embracing your imperfections, and basically purging this new age movement idea that you are to be positive and happy and together all the time. That is a spiritual act. Letting go of all that you've learned, through the new age movement, or any sort of ideology, um, that pertains to you being a certain way at all times is just not feasible. So you're being asked um, to basically to let go of being perfect and being let go and letting go of of being the perfect spiritual person. It's just not possible. It's just not possible to be perfect. It's not possible to be on all the time. It's not it's not even healthy to be tapped in on a regular basis. This is pretty much the time for y'all to just be um, to be real. It's time for you, Taurus, to be real, especially if you're or especially if you're in the healing profession or you're a spiritual teacher working with the public. You are to be real so you can be relatable. If you're not relatable, you're not able to help anybody. Okay? If you're not doing the inner work necessary, if you're not doing the shadow work necessary, and doing it on a regular basis, purging your unconscious mind on a regular basis, then you're not going to be able to help the people you are being called to help. And so that is all I received for Taurus. If this reading resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, click the subscribe button, leave a comment, share the video, like the video. You can also hit me up at bowtiepsychic@gmail.com if you want a more in-depth reading. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm also the host of the Bowtie Psychic podcast. And you can listen to that on Anchor.fm or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and a few others. So, to be honest with you, I can just go ahead and put those links up, so you'll be able to, grab those if you want to. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I do appreciate it. I do very, very much appreciate your support, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.